We are live tonight. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Juggernaut of Arkatech Beatz.
Arkatech Beatz.
Shout out to my partner, Mike Trauma D. He was on earlier, 8 o'clock. He was there rocking, going through some beats for those who caught that. Listen, I need y'all to give him a special shout out. Tomorrow is his birthday. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want to make sure that, we showing him love on his birthday, man. What's going on, Lucas? What's happening with you, man? We in the building. Yo, every day we get together at 9 o'clock. We showing people music production on the MPC, Akai MPC X. You know what I'm saying? We're here. We're trying to show people what's happening with it, trying to show people what to do, how to make the beats. And then also, this is for new artists, producers. We also teach people the music business. Make sure that you are getting a copy of these books. They're all available at arkatechbeatz.com. Make sure y'all checking that out. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all checking that out at arkatechbeatz.com. Y'all looking at that. So listen, we about to get into this. And we about to make this thing go. You know what I'm saying? Like, we about to really do what we do here. And can't make this up, man. Let's go. So for those who know, I put some samples on, and then we just try to get busy from there. You know what I'm saying? So. Yo, if it's your first time here, y'all know what it is. We're going to try to make a beat from this from scratch. Kind of like how the sample's going. I pitched it a little bit. And a little bit of a tap tempo. I'm showing about 85. Shout out Born Ready. I see you. There's a 4-bar loop, right? So we're going to try to lay that down. Let's go. Just like that, we did 16 levels. So we did 16 levels. As you can see, on the velocity, it makes the velocity of the hi-hat get higher as I go up the pads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be triggering a high pad and a low pad to kind of give it that variation of the drum. Let's go. Let's go. To the next track, we're going to do an open hat on this one. I'll name the track. That's my sound right there. I'm going to change it to a note on so I can trigger it like that. samples are from sample free, royalty free places, so that I cannot get copyright strikes while I'm doing the lives, doing the tutorial. So everything is about trying to use sample royalty free stuff from different stuff online. You got to do a little digging, and you know we save those special jewels for our special group. Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to everybody joining the live. We're here every night at 9 p.m., man. It's Arkatech Beatz. I'm your main man, Juggernaut. Shout out to my partner, Mike Trauma D. We are multi-platinum producers for Big Pun, Nas, Prodigy, Mobb Deep, Jadakiss, Raekwon, The Game, Killer Mike, Meek Mill, Freddie Gibbs, Sahara the Prince, Maya, you name it, we did it. Let's go. Let's go. We're gonna go to the next track. We're gonna add a snare on this, right? I'm gonna normalize the snare and get a little louder. I might have to go there. I need it to be loud. Let's go. Yeah, make sure y'all hitting that like button, man. Y'all gotta hit the like button. Let's go. Yo, shout out to Born Ready. GSOTB, King the King, shout out to you. Shout out to Chef Shem, let's go. Shout out Fab Dog Keish in the building, what's up? Let's go. It's a Sunday, man, we going live, man. We're doing the tracks, showing people music production. It's platinum producers, multi-platinum producers, let's go. It's almost go time. Listen, this is the time in the live where you're supposed to connect to a Bluetooth speaker or take your phone into the car. Alright, this is the time. For those who've been here before, y'all know this is the time. You can't listen to the beats on your phone, man. You gotta play it loud. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get the likes up, man. Let's get the likes up. Share the love. Let's go. go. Let's lay that down. Let's try that again. Mess that up. Let's try it again. Let's go. Let's go. Kick in there. Let's go. Make sure y'all sharing the live. We're gonna double it up, make it 8 bars. Oh, so what about sample clearance? King of oneself, what up, brother? We try to use royalty-free sites, so your sample clearance isn't a problem. So make sure y'all sharing it live. That's one of the main things that I've learned in this business is that, you got to make sure that you're getting your samples from places that you don't have to worry about clearing, or you research the recording artists who have been sampled before, so you kind of have an idea that if you sample from a particular person's catalog, let's say for example you were sampling from a Barry White catalog or Isaac Hayes catalog, you know that those samples have cleared before, so you know they're going to clear again in the future. The question is, how much are they going to charge you to clear your sample, right? That's going to be the issue. So the issue is how much do you want them to charge you, and then the other issue is how much do you want to give up in terms of how much of the song. Because remember how it starts off, when we make the beat, you own 100% of the beat, right? You own 100% of the song, because the beat is a song. The instrumental is a song. It doesn't have lyrics. It's a composition. So I own 100% of that. When I take it now and I give it to, say, a Jadakiss, now what I've done now, he's rapped on it. Now he's put his lyrics on it. He's composed the lyrics. Now he gets 50% of that now. So now I've taken away 50% of my record, giving him 50%. Now we're sharing the record as joint. So now he got 50%, I got 50%. Now if there's a sample in it, Isaac Hayes might say, hey, I need 80% of that. So now that takes me down to 10. It takes Jadakiss down to 10. And that's how sampling works. So if you're going to sample, you want to sample from certain places, you want to use royalty-free places. In our career, we've been in situations where we've had the best records that basically never got heard because the samples didn't clear. And I'm just being real. We've had samples that just won't clear. The artists don't want nothing to do with hip-hop, and that's how it works. So in these lives, I'm making the beats. I'm using royalty-free places. Sometimes I get copyright strikes. I'm able to, go against the copyright strikes because I have the licenses to use the track, to use the samples, and I'm doing this for really illustration. Sometimes, if the beat comes out super fire, we might do limited licenses on it, and we're doing that. As we move forward, we do limited licensing, maybe 2, maybe 5 licenses tops, because we're really trying to pick who we want to work with. We're not trying to just have our beats working with everybody. We're not on that type of time anymore. So let's get into the live. Let's get back into the beats. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all copying these books, man, so that y'all know what's going on with this music business. Start shouting out people in the live that's giving up, the roses. I appreciate y'all. Born Ready, King of Oneself. Shout out to y'all. Alpha Beat Productions. Go.
Arkatech Beatz.
Yo, make sure y'all sharing the live, man. Make sure y'all liking the live. I need the algorithm to know what it is. Yo, THB, man. I hope are you listening to this on a Bluetooth speaker, or you listening to it on your phone? Because if you're listening to it on your phone, you're not going to hear the bass line that's in the sample already. You see what I'm saying? I told y'all to plug it into a Bluetooth speaker or go in your car so that you can hear the bass. You can't hear the bass on a cell phone. You can't hear 808 and basses on cell phones, especially if you're on an Apple phone and not on a Samsung. Let's go. Now, there's a bass line in the sample that I'm going to bring out in the filter. Shout out to you, man, THB. Some people in the comments saying they writing right now. I'll let the beat rock out a little bit. Everybody hit me in the chat, man. Tell me where y'all from. building. Shout out to y'all. I'm from the BX. I'm from the Bronx. Let's go. Bronx, New York. Elliot says he's driving his neighbors crazy with the music. Shout out to him. Already, DC. I see you. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Shout out to everybody that's liking the live, sharing the live. For everybody that just came in, I'm gonna break down the beat, right? We started with the sample. Everybody who knows that comes into the lives with me, they know I like to pick certain samples. Listen, if you're doing sample-based production, it start with that. It start with you being able to identify samples, parts in a record that you could take and repeat or extend or chop into making it something new. So that's what you have to really be versed in. And with these sessions and folks who's coming on with me on a daily basis, and it's coming in at 9 o'clock and sitting with me when I'm making this thing, that's what we're doing. We're training people to understand and identify samples. It's not just me coming here and making beats. It's for you to really look and learn and see the inside of the process. You got to realize that me and my cousin, we're partners in this music production thing. We have worked with the best in hip hop. Period. And I say that unapologetically. Between Nas, Wu-Tang, Big Pun, Prodigy of Mobb Deep. Happy anniversary to the 30th year anniversary of the infamous Mobb Deep album. If you know, you know. The Game, Gibbs, Killer Mike. These are the best hip hop has had to offer in a generation. And I stand on that. And we've worked with all of these guys. You understand? The only person that we ain't get attached to it is Jay-Z, but that's coming. Alright? So what I'm trying to say is this. You basically want to pick your samples and get into the mind frame of just learning how to identify samples. Just looping samples, especially when you're using the MPC. Just looping samples. Slowing them down, speeding them up, see what works. Right? Blending drum beats in. Sometimes you don't even need to program the drums. Sometimes you could just copy another set of drums, blend those drums in. You know, if they're the same tempo, see what fits, see what works. And then that's how you perfect your drum pattern game, because you start breaking things down. Right? So we started with the sample. Right? And then on the hat, we did the hat. Now the hat is a regular, it's a regular hat, but it has a velocity change. So one hat is a low velocity, one hat is a high velocity, which basically means one is a lower volume than the next. So you hit 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Something very simple, but it helps to keep the beat moving and builds a little rhythmic to it. Now, if you want to add a little bit more quantization on it to make it go a little bit off of the grid, you can do that. And that kind of give you that Dilla sound if you really into that, you know what I mean? Now let's go on to the next one now, right? So the next one's going to be open hat. Right? And we try to do this hat now a little bit different than we would normally do it to kind of give us that, for those who know, you know, incarcerate Scarface type feel. Y'all know what that drum pattern sound like. You know, shout out to Rick Swan. Right? And I picked this snare because the snare kind of is heavy and it kind of picks up through the sample. And so again, you got to pick the right drums to make sure that your snare is going to, you know, marry good with your sample. And that takes time to realize too. And we're going to be building some kits for people to kind of use moving forward. And then I pick a heavy kick because we live and I need a heavy kick to kind of, you know, make the beat stand out. So for those who are watching, you know, that's really the process and that's really the beat. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we want to get a little deeper with it, we can go back to the sample. We could do a stem separation. We could pull out the parts, pull out the piano by itself, pull out the bass line by itself, and then we start to construct the record. Richmond in the building. I see you. Yo, shout out to everybody that is sharing the live. Also, Lamar Michaels, what's up, man? Listen, and this is the time then when you get to ask questions, and I don't see a lot of people asking a lot of questions, but this is really the time where I would tell people to ask questions, because it's not every day people are going to get on here and really give information out for free. You know how it goes. So I'm also answering questions about the beats, about music business. We get it going. Yo, King of Oneself, man, I appreciate you, bro. Already, I appreciate you. Honey, I see you. You can go between TrackLib, and you can go between TrackLib, which will clear your samples for you when you pay your subscription. And really Splice is king, really, when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. Where my producers at in the building? Where my producers at? Where my rappers at? Where my writers at? We're gonna go into the next track. I got another sample in here. I got a total of 3 samples. Can I play it layer by layer again? I did that. I'll do it again. For those who came in late, I'll play it layer by layer so you can see how we did it. We're gonna mute it all out. We started off with the sample. Thank you for the follow. All right. Then we added the hats in. Right. We added an open hat. Right. Then we added the snaring. And then the kick. Somebody's asking me, Elliot, I'm sorry. They're asking me if it's coming through the system not clean. Yes. Yes. Right now, what Akai got going on with this MPC X is different. I can't break it. I'm telling you, because I had an MPC 2000, MPC 2000 XL. I've had an ASR. I use Serato. I use FL Studio, and this joint coming through clean, you heard? And coming through loud, pause, no diddy. You hear it punching through the speakers. And it's nothing. I've put no effects on anything. There's no effects on those snares, nothing. I haven't done anything yet. Like normally I go and I put a little EQ, a little reverb. I haven't done anything yet. Sometimes I do that on the beats. I haven't even gotten a chance to do it yet. So what you're hearing is just raw. But it also comes down to your sample selection, and it comes down to your sound selection. You got to choose the right sounds. That's what kill a lot of God's beats. is that guys don't do enough studying, listening to other people's music to realize what sounds are going to work for which artist. Because that's a big thing. Like if you think about like the DMX time, if you wanted to get a DMX placement, you was going to have to do the Rough Rider sound, or you wasn't going to get on. You wasn't going to get a placement. You had to do the Dame Grease sound, the Rough Rider sound, the Swiss sound. You had to use a certain instrument for that one. For those who know, that was the Triton back then. So if you know, you know. You got to pick the right sounds for the. You got to pick the sounds for the time. If you're doing trap music, you got to have the right 808s. You got to have the right kick drums, the right snares. You know how that works. So every era has different sounds that it's going to be using and different stuff that it's going to be using. And you have to be versed in that. But people got to study. You got to listen to music. You got to listen to it intensely. And you got to listen to it with my daughter always makes a joke with me. She's like, Daddy, why you always listen to these records over and over and over again? I'm studying the record. You got to study the record. Shout out to the new followers. Marquise, I'm gonna let it ride for a minute. We're here every day at 9 o'clock, man. Make sure y'all in the live, man. Make sure y'all sharing the live, man. Y'all need to be tagging the rapper right now, tagging the writer right now.
Arkatech Beatz.
Shout out my world beats. Shout out Gully King. Sharing the live. Make sure y'all liking the live and sharing the live. Alright, we're gonna jump into this next beat, man. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. For everybody that's in here. I got another sample. I don't know how that goes. Rest in peace, Big Pun. We're gonna try to loop this up. We're gonna go with 4 bars. I've tuned it up a little bit just to get us a little bit more speed on it. Yeah, let's see what we can come up with. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try to see where the sample kind of pulls us in what direction. Sometimes we can sample something and you hear it one way, but when you start looping it up, it goes a different way. So it all depends. Yeah, man, you got to get this MPC X, man. Can the MPC X reverse a sample? Absolutely. Get a hat down on here. No. Let's do that over. You ready? We're gonna add some more hats to it. Add another hat to that. Let's double that up. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Let's go. Go. Open hat. Let's go. snare down. Let's go. Yeah, a little EQ to that. Add a little reverb. Let's go. Let's try it again. 1, 2. like that. Let's try it again. Let's go. If I had an abrupt change to the production, it would sound like a flip side. Hold on. Just to what? Okay. Some people's asking me to add claps. Wait, claps? It's trap music, man. Judah, you can always go back and watch our lives. They're recorded on every platform. So you can go back and watch our lives on YouTube, whatever. So you can always go back, and if you need to, listen. That's how we do it. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Shout out to everybody that's hitting that like button. Shout out to Judah, Da Vinci, My World Beats, G Crazy, I see you. Ron, I see you. The Six in the business, I see you. Dave, I see you. DJ Drumtastic, I see you. We're going to double this up, make it 8 bars. Ron, I see you. Know that was in there, huh? Listen to the change. Here it comes. Pause. Come on. We're going to split that in half. Then we're going to double it back. G Crazy said, strings, please. Strings. I heard him in the sample. I think I got another part of the sample in here that we might need to listen to. So let's Pro 10. So let's try that real quick. Let's copy this sequence. And we're gonna name this verse number 2. And this is definitely a different part of the sample. And listen, if you are lucky enough to have a sample where you have multiple parts, like this is a good exercise, right? So let's lay this part of it down. Make sure y'all hitting the live, man. Liking the live button. Like the live. G Crazy, I would ask you, because he's asking to add a break, add a bridge. Who gonna rap on that? Who's the artist that you gonna sell this music to that's currently out right now, that's gonna take this record with those type of things in them and rap on them in today's landscape? Remember, you have to make sure that you're making music not just for yourself, but if you're in the business of making money and selling records, you gotta make it for people out here that's gonna make it. Join us one guy. Who else you got? What if you can't get to join us? I recorded that? Hold on a second. Didn't even realize I recorded that. Let me make sure. I'm sure I did record it. Shout out to Poison, man. I see you. out to everybody that's in the live. Let me go back to the first beat that we made tonight if y'all coming in late. And then we did the second one, which was my man Zach. What up? Back in the building again. Projects. I'm gonna call this I Believe. I don't know believe in what, but not sure, but I believe in something. Let's go. Respect from Greece. What's up, big guy? I seen you here last night, man. Shout out to you for joining into the live and following us on the live. We're here every day, 9 o'clock, man. You know, trying to do this. Yeah, I see you was on there earlier with Mike, man. Tomorrow is Mike's birthday. Tomorrow is the 27th anniversary of Big Pun's Capital Punishment. That is our first record that we ever produced and placed for a major artist. It went platinum immediately. He became the first Latino rapper to ever go platinum. You know what I'm saying? And he went on to sell 3 million records and changed my life. I'm just a guy from the Bronx, man. Mike D, he uses the live too. He uses the MPC live too. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Shout out to everybody that's liking the live. Rest in peace, Big Pun. Shout out to the new followers. Shout out to everybody that's liking the live. That was beat number 2. I'm going to go to beat number 1. out Jeremiah. Baltimore in the building. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. What time is it? Be an hour in. We using sample royalty free sample stuff, track lib, splice. Because when we doing live tutorials, you don't want the copyright strikes. So that's what we're using. We try not to use any, music that's out there per se. So that we don't have to worry about the copyright strike business. Because that could really be a pain in the ass. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to play some beats, man. Who want to hear some beats? I'm going to play some beats, man. And this is from the previous lives, or just beats that we got out there that we about to rock out with. I'm going to play some joints. Let's try. Let's try this joint real quick. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Yeah, man, clean boom bap. But I try to do a lot of different stuff too. It's like we do boom bap, man, but you gotta do a little bit of everything, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Especially if you want to be in here for a long time. But if you want to be in this for a long time, as long as we've been in it, you got to be able to be versatile. I know it was like a hard road for us to switch between boom bap to trap music. And true story is we started to come down to Atlanta in 07, and we met up with Shorty Lowe's manager, right? Shout out, rest in peace, Shorty Lowe, and Johnny Cabell, and he was like, yo, you like what we do? And he was like, he would manage us. And he was the one that kind of introduced us to a lot of people out here in the Atlanta area. So that's how we were able to work with Shorty Lowe. We got a record with Shorty Lowe and Maya. Yes, the Maya, Lady Marmalade Maya, Grammy Award winner singer. She got a record called About My B.I. You can go check that out. Got another joint that we did. And then from that, we met like Gucci, and then we did Waka Flocka. We did a few other joints, you know what I mean? We met it like Alley Boy, Trouble, rest in peace to Trouble. So let's go. I'm gonna play some beats.
Arkatech Beatz.
Got that R&B in there. Come on now. You know what time it is. We got that R&B in there. You know what I'm saying? Got that, it's not all what you call it. It's not all boom bap, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make sure that y'all understand what it is. see what else I got in here that I'm trying to play real quick. Let's see what I want to play in here. Let's try this one. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. So what's the best avenue to get placements? Man, the best avenue right now, man, you gotta be in these guys' DMs. I ain't gonna hold you. Let's see how this one sound.
Arkatech Beatz.
That beat is called Try Leaving. So check this out. Somebody asked me if I could upgrade the RAM on the MPC X. You can upgrade. You can't upgrade the RAM. You can upgrade the internal memory. Not the internal memory, but the storage, but not necessarily the RAM. That's like the old MPCs that you're able to upgrade the RAM. You can't do that anymore. I believe you got to buy it as it is. And that one was, what was that one that's now? I said that was, that was Try Leaving. I'm going to do this other joint. It's called New York Monsters. So this beat is called New York Monsters, man. Let's see if it... Hold on. We got to play it again. Let's go. Ready? Are y'all ready?
Arkatech Beatz.
Definitely worth copping NPC Live too. It's worth it. Is that Tony Stark? Conway the Machine, man. Griselda, man. Let's go. What it is. We playing beats tonight, man. We doing more beats. We playing a little bit of beats. You know, we produce some joints. Listen, it's a lot of different sounds, man. So it's like, you know, I think what happens is that you just don't want to be pigeonholed. You want to do what you want to do, you know. But at the same time, you have to kind of tread the balance between making the beats that you want to make, and then also making things that are going to be, you know, commercially viable. Like that's really like the main thing. It's like you want beats that's going to be viable. Maybe I'm in the wrong thing. Maybe I should just go to the MP3s. Let's do that. I know what it is. Trap music.
Arkatech Beatz.
Don't like that.
Arkatech Beatz.
You know how it goes.
Arkatech Beatz.
You did that one.
Arkatech
You did that one already.
Arkatech Beatz. Arkatech Beatz. Arkatech Beatz.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. We made this the other night. Woo.
Arkatech Beatz.
Yeah, that one goes. Hold on a second, man. I'll tell you, boy. Listen, there's a few things out here, man. There's a few joints that definitely go. You know what I mean? It's definitely a few joints, man. And then who was with me when I was doing the West Coast run, when I had the West Coast beats going in here, going crazy. Like man, listen. Which one was it? It was oh yeah, it was this one. It was this was a live that had, I think this live had maybe like 50,000 likes or something that night, because it was so crazy with the West Coast joints. Like, it was just going nutty. I'm gonna play it on. I'm in a good mood tonight. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. Shout out to y'all that's watching. Shout out to y'all that's sharing the live. Shout out to the new followers. Shout out to everybody that's throwing the gifts out there, man. Yeah, it was a West Coast joint that went like this. that live was going bonkers. And then we played another, and then we did another West Coast joint. I know that one go absolutely bonkers. Like, it goes bonkers, man. That's all I could say. I'm going to play one more joint before I get up out of here. Let's see what I got. Let's see what I got. We're going to do it in the ghetto. I think a lot of people had liked this one. This was wonderful. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. Shout out to everybody that's hitting the like button. All the new followers. Everybody that's sharing the live, man. Listen, we're here every night at 9 p.m. Every night, 9 p.m. Yo, shout out to Face World, Bogazi. Call me Slim. Shout out to y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on before I go into that. Y'all ready? Let's go. Sharing the live, man. Let's go. Let's go.
Arkatech Beatz.
Let's go. Make sure y'all sharing the live, man. It's Arkatech Beatz, man. For the hook. Let's go. Shout out to everybody in the live. Shout out to everybody that watched the live tonight, man. We on every night, 9 p.m. We showing people the music business. We showing people how to do music production. Make sure y'all copying everything. Make sure y'all getting the books, because y'all got to make sure y'all need to know what's going on out there. Everything available at arkatechbeatz.com. You know what I'm saying? Come next month, we will be doing limited licensing. Like just limited licensing on tracks. It's very limited. Like I said, like maybe like 2 licenses a beat, maybe 2 to 5 licenses a beats tops. So, you know, we're trying to find serious artists who are trying to do serious work and trying to develop serious relations, and then also trying to, you know, make sure that they're able to be produced and mentored. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, be working with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. That's not what we're trying to do at this point. We're trying to make sure that we're able to cultivate the best talent. So, with that being said, before I get out of here, I got about 5 minutes. Is there any questions, chat, that you want to hit me with? Hit me with the questions now, and I'll answer the questions. Any questions about the music business? Any questions about music production, music publishing, copyright? You name it. You name it, I can answer it. For the most part, I have a 25-year career in this music business, not only as a music producer, but as a staff producer for La Loud Records, A&R consultant, brand ambassador for Song Trust, brand ambassador for Cloud Bounce, and different organizations throughout the music business. So what does answering mean? Meaning, if you have a question, like, so somebody asked me earlier, where do we get sample free stuff from? You know, what happens when you sample? What do you have to do? And I was able to answer that question. Like, what's the first step in promoting your brand to be noticed? Socials. You're gonna have to be on these socials. To be honest with you, you have to be on socials. And for a long time, you know, because a guy my age was resistant to being on socials. You know, sometimes when you've been in something so long as I've been in it, and I've been in the, you know, Double XL, I've been in the Source magazine, and, you know, all those things that were the most prominent things in hip hop publications and so forth and so on. So, you know, being on the internet was never really a thing for me. But for those who are now trying to get into this business, it's a must. You know, you have to be online, and you have to be showcasing what it is that you do. So I would suggest, you know, getting on social media, and just doing what you do, as far as to show people what you do. You know what I mean? If you make beats, that's what it is. If you sing, do that. You know, tips for finding good samples. You know, samples are everywhere, and some of our earlier music, we used to sample a lot of movies. Conan the Barbarian, all over the place. We used to do so much sampling all over the place. It's just listening to music and seeing what loops. You know, when we're talking about sample-based music, you want to just pay attention to what loops, and you want to pay attention to the music that you like the most and where they get their sample from. And you can start there. So you can just listen to other people's music, see where they sample from, and start to kind of tune your ear to that. Right, MF Doom was sampling the Fantastic Four cartoons from the 60s. Real talk. Was talking setting up a publishing company versus falling under an existing publishing company. Zach, clarify your question for me. When you say set up a publishing company versus under an existing publishing company, what's an existing publishing company? Do you already have one, or are you setting up a new one, or like what's the question on that? I want to be clear. I want to make sure I answer your question. I definitely want to answer your question, because you know you're one of our best supporters here, so I want to make sure that you get your question answered. Yeah, but you definitely finding samples, man. They're everywhere. Like I said, TrackLib, Splice, like, you know, those are good places to get samples, and you know, but you have to search. Don't just because you have those sites, you still got to search for samples. And that's the real thing. You have to, just like how we used to do record hunting back in the days. You have to search for samples, and you have to listen to all the albums, listen to all of the music, and then you have to pick what sounds good or what may sound good on a record. So that's what you got to do. Okay, first of all, signing to a big publishing company, that doesn't happen to everybody, right? Um, Getting a publishing deal only happens when you got music that's going to come out. And when I say music that's going to come out, meaning that if you're a artist and you have music that's going to, say for example, you're a producer and you have music that's coming out with Drake, then yeah, a publishing company going to want to sign you because they know that you got income coming in now. Once that record comes out, they know it's going to generate streams, and they know it's going to generate income. So if you don't have a record that gets placed, or if you don't have a record that's distributed, there's no income to be made, right? So remember that the income is made from the public exploitation of your record. So whether it be streams, whether it be radio play, whether it be reproduction of vinyl or something like that, like all of those things create royalties. There's no royalties without that. So now if you own your own publishing company, you have to own your own publishing company. And this is a misconception for a lot of people, because remember what happens is that, remember when I said that there's a percentage of a record that you may own. So for example, I do a record with Jadakiss. We own 50% of the record. Jadakiss owns 50% of the record. But it's really broken down further than that. As the songwriters, we would own 25%. Our publishing company owns the other 25%. And then the same thing with Jadakiss. His writer shares 25%, and his publisher owes 25%. If you don't have a publishing company, that 25% you don't get to collect on. You see, they made that kind of convoluted. So what happens is that will just sit and build, because it's not your publisher share isn't assigned to a publishing, right? A publisher. So when I say set up your own music LLC, that's really the first step in setting up your own publishing company, to make sure that you can collect the full amount that you're supposed to collect. Because what happens is, whatever you do on a record is always going to be split between your writer share and your publisher share. That's automatic. And I hope I answered that question. As far as what I vibe with, man, I vibe with anything, But a lot of the music that we use to sample would be like funk and jazz and that sort of thing. They don't do 200% anymore, Zach. That's old school. Old school is 200%, where they used to do it that way. And for me, for those folks who say it's 200%, it's not the 200%. It's theoretically 200%. If you want to, let's break it down again, right? It's theoretically 200% because it's this. It's 50% writers, right? So say it's me and Jadakiss. I have 50% of the writers. Jadakiss had 50% of the writers. That's 100%. And then there's another 50% as the publisher and another 50% as his publisher. So that's where they get the 200% from. You see what I'm saying? It's the same math. It's just cut in half. So instead of it being, 50%, 50%, right. You know what I'm saying? It's now cut into 25-25 to make it 100% pie, because that was confusing people. That used to confuse people back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And look, and I'm telling people, because I used to be the guy that used to have those. This is before ASCAP and those places used to be able to, before you can do it online electronically. I used to have to fill out a long form, which was an 8 by 17 or 8.5 by 17 legal sheet. And then you would have to fill in all the writers, and then you would have to do the calculation as 200%, and then you'd have to fax that in as your song registration. This is back in the 90s, man. You know what I'm saying? So people who are talking about it, they could talk about it, but they never really did it. You know what I'm saying? We did it. I'm trying to tell you that I did the administration. You know what I'm saying? Like, them folks be talking, but they ain't really talking. Like, I did the administration. There was no publisher for us to do that. We didn't do it through a publishing company. We administered our own publishing. We didn't get a publishing deal until much later, you know, until we found a deal that was right for us. But we did all of that before, you know, before we dealt with any of that stuff. So a lot of guys be out here, they be talking, man, but, you know, it's different for us. You know what I'm saying? So you can go on our website now, and you can go through all of our articles, all of our newsletter articles. It's different for us. Like, we talk it because we know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, other people can't talk it like how we talk it. A lot of guys be like, I just make beats. You know, I don't know about that. I don't know about my master royalties, my master recording rights. I don't know about my sound exchange. I don't know about that stuff. That's not us. So for people who are following us and the artists that work with us, you know, they're not going to be put into a situation where they don't know what the hell's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're doing like limited licensing, limited help, like, you know, because we're trying to put people in a position to empower themselves for real. Like, we're not trying to put people in a position, well, I gave you a beat. Okay, good luck. We're not trying to do that. Any other questions in here? I'm about to jump in. I'm about to jump out. Listen, man, shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate everybody that's in the live. Shout out to everybody that sent the gifts, the diamonds, the roses, everything. I appreciate everybody that's in there. So what bit rate do I use? It depends. If we normally do a wave, and then for a high quality MPC, we maybe do like a 320, and that's going to be at a 44.1. We don't normally do 48. When you start doing 48, sometimes on different systems, it might play at a different speed if you don't know what you're doing. Any other questions? Because we're about to jump out this live. I'm going to leave y'all with this. Yo, Jedi. Don't feel like that. We're here every night at 9 p.m., man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that. That's why I'm doing this. When I was coming into this game, I didn't have that. There was nobody. There was nobody that helped us at all. There was no online. There was no mentors. There was nothing. I didn't have any of that stuff. So I've created the platforms so that people can get the information, because I know what it felt like to be ignorant and not know anything, not know anybody, not know nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's different now. So now we can be in a situation where you can help people and people can learn from you. But, you know, people have to be open to learning, and people have to realize, like, listen, you know, this is a new day. This is a new day, right? Even at my age, I got to still be out here trying to learn this AI, still trying to learn this other stuff, still trying to understand, you know, the social media marketing, trying to really understand, you know, Google ads, Facebook ads, trying to understand all of that stuff, Shopify, e-commerce, right? This is all stuff that, you know, as you start to progress with us in our community, that I'm going to share. All of that. Like, so we're talking about e-commerce, we're talking about merchandise, print on demand, vinyl on demand, direct to consumer, like all these type of things that we use. You know, it's not just about music, man. It's about really understanding this business. And there's a lot of layers to it, because you can't survive off of music streams alone anymore unless you're really, really doing like billions and billions and billions of streams. You know, you have to find that medium where you do, you know, you find your audience, you do a good number of streams, you do a good number of this and a good number of that. Yeah, when you say your greatest expense in life is ignorance, is no joke. If you sign the ASCAP, can you still sign the Song Trust? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is that Song Trust has a different thing that it does. It helps to collect your mechanicals and your micro sync. And your micro sync is the stuff that happens with YouTube. Now remember, Song Trust has just been acquired by UMG, right? Downtown Music and that stuff. So, you know, you're still kind of dealing with them, and you're dealing with a major again. So we were very early on to Song Trust. We went on to Song Trust as ambassadors for a long time, promoting this situation. You know, I identified them as somebody that could really be moving forward in the industry, and we partnered with them very early on, as being ambassadors for them for a short while in the beginning. But it's a good company. You just have to make sure that you stay on them like any other company. Like, let me tell you something about these publishers and publishing administrators. They're only as good as the information that you give them. They're only as good as the data that you provide. So if you don't provide them with the right song data, meaning if you don't have the right splits, if you don't have split sheets, we also have that at arkatechbeatz.com. It's the songwriter's guide, it's the split sheets, right? You got to make sure you look at that. If you don't have the right splits, if you don't have the information, if you don't have the stuff, the signatures, if you don't have the right information and you're not uploading the right information to them through their portal, they're only as good as the information that you provide them. That's any publishing administrator. So if you're not on top of your game, they can't help you. And just being honest, no one can help you if you don't take care of your business. So you have to have a very basic understanding of what's going on, and then you can hire those kind of people now to go get the money for you. It's not just about the beats, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it's not just about the beats. It's good that it's not just about the music. The music is great, but it's not just about that. This is where people get jammed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell you story after story after story, like how the game is who saw Sinners out there? Who saw Sinners? Who's seen the movie already? Because like what Coogler and them is trying to do is they're trying to wake people up to the business of, you go out here, you do business with people, you try to do business so that you can get your money and get free. But while you try to do business with those folks, they slick behind your back trying to steal it back from you. You know what I'm saying? So that's really how the music industry works. It's like, hey, we're going to give you this and you're going to get your royalties. But in order for you to get your royalties, like, they don't need nothing to put your record out, but they need a whole bunch of situation for you to get royalties back. You see what I'm saying? So they could sell it, exploit it, and make all this money, but when it's time for you to get your portion of it, oh, you got to do this, or you have to do that, or you have to set up your vendor account. Oh, the artist got to sign this document, that document, this document, or you got to set up your portal, you got to set up your vendor ID, you got to da. So it's all like a very complex web of, I don't want to say deceit, but if you don't understand, or if you don't have somebody to tell you what to expect, then you're at a severe disadvantage. Just telling you what it is. Hey man, I'm here to help. Yeah, they call it red tape, and then they, what they do? I have another video that's on my TikTok. I had a video that was on that I did, and on TikTok that Timbaland saw, and then Timbaland shared it with a bunch of folks, and Timbaland was basically saying, hey, I was telling folks, like, listen, like, if you're a platinum producer, if you're a gold producer or a platinum producer, like, there's most likely money that the label has that they're not telling you about. Like, there's money that they have that they're not telling you about. They're going to say it's black box royalties, that, oh, they just didn't collect it. No, they didn't tell you that they owed it to you. They're not going to notify you and tell you that your artist that you were working with recouped 10 years ago. They're not telling you that. What they're trying to do is they're trying to wait out the clock so that you can't audit them. You see what I'm saying? So this is a game that they play. But again, for those who's going to be joining our community, for those that's going to be rocking with us, that's what's going to be happening. Do we do MPC tutorials? Yes. So we, every time I'm doing the tracks, I'm walking people through what I do on the tracks every night. Every night I'm walking them through. I'm building the track from every track that you see me doing. We building it from scratch here. So as long as you follow along and you got your own samples and stuff like that, you'll be able to get in the beat situation. It's not going to be hard for you. So yeah, it's going to be MPC tutorials, and we'll get deeper into the MPC. The MPC has a lot to offer. There's a lot in here. The question is, what do you need to do to make beats immediately? Yes, we can go in here and we can do other stuff and, get more control and such and such and this MIDI this and, channel mixing and all of that. Yeah. But Yeah, the live. I heard the live can be a little. The live can be a little overwhelming. You know, my partner Mike Trauma D, he uses the live too. He said it was a little overwhelming at first. But he had gotten used to using Machine. So he had gotten so used to using Machine. So when he went back to the MPC, it was kind of like, whoa, what's going on? See, I never really got too heavy into the Machine like that. I used Machine in the beginning when we did maybe like the Gibbs record. But I really went into FL and I was into Serato for a little while. And then I decided to buy this MPC less than a year ago, to be quite frank. Yeah, I see. He said his father-in-law used to be an ex-musician. He says it's real sketchy. Is there any other questions, man? I'm saying I got a little bit more time here before I jump off, but I'm glad that y'all folks is like answering questions. Listen, share the live. We're here every night at 9 p.m. Share the links. Share it with people who really want to learn. Share it with people who are trying to get into this business. Share it with producers that want to learn. Share it with independent artists that want to understand. I think independent artists also should learn a little bit of music production. Sometimes as an independent artist, they hear something in music and they can't translate it because they don't spend enough time, trying to understand the language of music producers. So how do you get around copyright with samples? You can't get around copyright with samples. I'm sorry. You can't, brother. You can't get around samples with copyrights, man. Listen, like, no, there's no 4 seconds. There's no 4 seconds. There's none of that. None of that. That's a lie. That's a lie. You sample 4 seconds of my music, I can guarantee you I'm coming to take some of that money off you. I can guarantee you. That's a lie, man. Yeah, there ain't no 4 seconds, ain't this, none of that, da-da-da. All of that's trash. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to sample some public domain work, but that got to be like 100 years old. You know what I'm saying? Everything what you sample is a sample has a copyright to it. And a copyright is intellectual property, is owned by somebody. And if they went through the right process of copyrighting their music through the copyright.gov and they registered their copyright, we also have a book out there called The Songwriter's Guide to Song Registration. You need to check that out. That's free on our website. So go pick that up. It's free. But if you sample music that's copywritten, then they have the right to sue you for copyright infringement. And they can hit you with the damages up to $150, $150,000 on, any damages and then any punitive damages on top of that. And they can take all the royalties from your record. So when you're sampling, listen, go to sample royalty-free sources. There's some guys out there that you can sample that say, hey, if you give us the credit, da-da-da. I'm not really big on that because, those are sometimes these guys get into your situation and they, they really mess around. Shout out to Jedi, man. I appreciate the gift, brother. Thank you. Any other questions out there, man? Like I said, we're here every night, 9 p.m. I'm trying to go on a little bit of a Kasha streak. I can't do it like the young boys, but I'm gonna try to do it the best I can and see how long I can stay on, going live. As long as I got value to offer, then I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. But I definitely want to help different artists, and I want to make new music, man. I want some dope music to be made, Sampling been tough, but sampling been tough, but Splice makes samples better. Tracklip makes samples better. Like those places where you pay the monthly fee and then you can use any sample you want is already cleared. This is royalty free. That changes the game. There's tens of thousands of samples in these things, hundreds of thousands of samples. So that changes the game. That makes sampling viable again. And there are a lot of guys out here that are creating loops. That's their business. That they create loops. They sell the loop packs and semantics. Shout out to them. Those are all royalty free. You just got to know how to manipulate and how to make new music based off of the samples. Listen, when you're dealing with Splice is probably the fastest way to get your music to sound, commercially viable very quickly. Because again, if you choose the right samples, you don't have to really do a lot of, mixing and, a lot of that type of stuff to kind of get it to sound the right way. You got to just know how to train your ear to pick the right sounds, if that makes sense, or the right samples. DJ True Skill, shout out to you. Bogazi, shout out to you. Born Ready, shout out to you. Da Vinci, shout out to you. Everybody that stayed in the live for the whole time. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to play the beats that we worked on tonight again before I get up out of here. Beat number 1, beat number 2. We'll be back here tomorrow 9 o'clock. Mike Hill, I see you, brother. So listen, when I first started, I used to be engineering a lot because I used to have, when we first started our label, I had artists. Sean Anthony Baker used to be a recording artist that was on our label. And before he pivoted to, doing this acting thing now, shout out to him now that he's on Lifetime with Gabby Sibiday, and he's on Swagger, Apple TV with Ice Cube's son and everything. But he used to be a recording artist, and I used to do a lot of engineering back then. I don't do it too much anymore, to be quite frank. Being an engineer was stressing me out. That's why I lost all my hair. Everybody lose their hair, and I'm only playing. But yeah, it wasn't really. It was sucking the joy out of music. Was engineering, because it just felt like it's for the technically. You're the guy that has to fix everything. When it comes to being an engineer, you got to fix it all. So, I didn't enjoy that anymore, so I really just rather make the music, and do that. And then Mike, and real talk, Mike had got his certificate for audio engineering. So like he was like a audio engineer early on before he started to, before he got the internship at the record company. So yeah, he was definitely an engineer, and but he doesn't do it too much either anymore. Listen, that's part of the reason why I did it too, man, was to cut the costs. Like, it's real. I mean, listen, I don't do it anymore because I don't really have to. But when I was doing it, it's because I had to. I had opened up the studio in the Bronx. It was in my parents' living room. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to my parents. It was in our living room in that house. You know what I'm saying? And I used to have the whole hood coming through, when I used to be there, in the BX. And folks used to be coming through to the house. And the rule was, y'all just couldn't cuss while y'all was rapping in the house. My moms would be tripping when people cuss in the house. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I had it that's how it was. And I used to engineering back then. I used to have sessions and, was engineering and, just recording everybody. That was back in the day with the ADATs, for those who are old enough to remember that. You know what I'm saying? So, Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. Shout out to everybody that came through to the live. Shout out to everybody that shared the live. And listen, a good engineer can take your music from no to whoa. If you got a good engineer. Yeah, if you got a good engineer, man, that's like gold, bro. Like, that's like the missing link. I ain't gonna even hold you. Like, for real. Like, for people who know. Like, if you don't have a good engineer, like, the engineer is supposed to be like the extension to the producer's brain. You know what I'm saying? So it's very, very important for you to have a good engineer that knows how to move quickly, who knows how to really handle the presets, who knows how to, implement new things, because it's like a puzzle that you're trying to fix with music. You're trying to get all the pieces to fit together. So the engineer can help to fix that puzzle between you and the artist. He's like the glue. So for those who know, you know what I mean? Make sure y'all sharing the live, man. Everybody that joined the live tonight. I'm about to sign off. We'll catch y'all tomorrow. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Freddie Gibbs record that we produced. We produced the record for Freddie Gibbs on his mixtape, on his album, Cold Day in Hell. It's a record called Let Your Nuts Hang. If you go on our TikTok profile, it's probably like pinned to the top, like one of like the top 10 beats or whatever. So, we did a record with him called Let Your Nuts Hang. Got a lot of records. We did a lot of records with guys early in their careers because we kind of identified them as top tier talent. So that's our job as producers to see who's next and then produce for those guys. So, like, for example, we got a bunch of records with with Trouble from ATL before he passed away. You know what I mean? Yeah, that tape was hard, man. Remember they had that first single with him and Freeway. That was like, that's when I said this guy is special. This guy is really special. Like, Gibbs is special. He's special, man. I don't know, people don't like to give that man his props, but he's special. You gotta listen to that music. There's a few guys out here that could really rap that rap, boy. Yep, Anything to Survive. With the cat down there that sound like Michael Jackson on the hook. What else? Yeah, like, we got record with like Obi Trice, and we got record with we got records with a lot of guys, man. Like, some stuff comes out, some stuff don't come out, some stuff you'll never get to hear. It's just, so it's the luck of the draw. Yeah, man, Gibbs. I like, the one I like from Gibbs a lot is like Fucking Up the Count and like Paul Marlov. Like, these are special records, man. Special, man. This guy is special. man, before I hang it up, I got to get Pusha T. You know, I gotta get Pusha T. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's one of my favorites, and I need to make sure that we do that. And you know, the joke is, when we was in Atlanta, we was filming a video for Shorty Low, and I think it was Dun Dun. Was it Dun Dun? No, it was Foolish. It was had a record named Foolish, and he was recording it, the video on like the hood in Atlanta, and that's where we had met Pusha T. And this is right when he first signed to Good Music. Kanye, he hadn't come out with any music yet. You know, it's like the Clips had just kind of, you know, went a little bit defunct and that type of thing. And he was telling us how, you know, from Virginia, how he used to have his grandmother and them used to live on my side of the Bronx off of Gun Hill Road. And I just thought that was real interesting, man. But we were never able to connect with him to get him the music, you know. And then same thing with Nipsey. Like, Nipsey was, you know, reaching out to us because he was rocking with Alley Boy for a little while. Alley Boy used to left Atlanta for a little while, was in LA with him, and you know, he had heard our music, and Nips was reaching out to us, and we just never got a chance to connect that music together. So there's a few artists, man, that I wish we could have really, you know, got on those records. Shout out to Shorty Low, man. Low was different. Yeah, man. Shout out to those guys, man. But we're gonna circle back. We're gonna circle back. It's a new day. You know, we're gonna circle back. But listen, I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Signing off, man. Appreciate y'all, man.